Hi there, welcome to Radix on-demand video, the benefits of a FPSO as built digital twin. Radix is a global partner of Aviva, and we are going to explore how the technological advancements can be used to mitigate FPSO startup and overall EHS risks. I will hand it over to John DeConig, who will bring his perspective and expertise on the topic. Thank you very much for watching us.
This is John DeConig. Nice for you to join us in this video. Let me give a little bit of background of myself. So I am the Senior Vice President of Business Development for Radix Engineering. My background in the industry is I worked quite a long career for Shell. In that career, I became responsible for helping to drive Shell with the digital transformation in the real-time space. So that helps me in the role that I'm now having within Radix to help customers from Radix in their digital transformation journey. Before we dive into details about the value drivers of digital twins, digital transformation, there's one thing that I would like to address first. So it's easy to jump to technology. It's easy to jump into projects. But before we know, we're introducing technologies that are not meeting up with business requirements, with business demand. So it's quite important to understand what are your core business challenges? How do we operate today as a business? What are our value opportunities that we can drive for? So those things are helping us with our transformation goals. And once we understand how to change, we can select the digital tools that will best fit to those changes that we would like to introduce. Effectively, by doing it, the digital transformation is being driven by a business transformation, and it becomes a catalyst to help us change with our business transformation. The core objective of any change is value. So we would like to gain value of the things that we're doing, but also of the changes that you're implementing. Key value drivers that we are seeing in the industry, specifically in the oil and gas area, is increased reliability of our facilities, changing our unplanned downtime into planned downtime, changing maintenance from a time-based into a condition-based environment, helping to avoid that we run our equipment into failure, but being predictive and understanding to run them into maintenance so that we have less downtime and less cost for fixing the technical issues that we might face. Overall, by doing that, we help to increase our safety and help to increase the profitability of our investments. Another area that is quite important, that's specifically for the offshore industry, that is how to migrate activities from an offshore perspective to an onshore perspective. Having a good digital representation of the facility enables us to also start doing activities from onshore, specifically from a surveillance perspective, monitoring our large rotating equipment, doing a lot of analytics work, but also planning our maintenance, planning our plan changes, having all that detailed insight into our all digital data, representing the facility out there, is helping us to move people from offshore to onshore, reducing risk, reducing safe, but also reducing significant cost. The items that we are discussing are all driven by data. The data is the important set of the utilities that we need to drive all those changes. A lot of data is available, specifically looking to greenfields and looking from the EPC phases. There's quite a lot of digital data coming to us. All the engineering specifications, P&IDs, equipment characteristics, but also the design constraints of all the facilities, the equipment, the processes that we have designed. Next to that, it could also be presented in 3D models if they are available, and sometimes even up with simulators to test our requirements and our designs. Looking to what we can do with all that data is bringing it all together. So it's not only the design data, but also bringing all the operational data into the mix. Once we have all the data available, we can start all the magic things. So for example, let's take a piece of equipment. Let's take a heat exchanger. So yes, it is valuable to have simple parameters, like the measured ones, like the flows, the temperatures, etc. But also the product characteristics that are going through, the characteristics of the heat exchangers themselves coming from the design data. When we are integrating that together with some advanced analytics, we start able to start predicting the fouling, for example. So that's what we can do with all that information that is becoming available. Is that going by itself? Absolutely not. So we need to bring the engineering knowledge, we need to bring the data, we need to bring operational knowledge, and we need to bring the IT tool sets in together. And I think there is where the value of Radix is coming in. So the DNA of Radix is being based on the engineering aspects. So understanding how to do your equipment design, understanding your thermodynamics, etc. In combination in how to operate the equipment and how to operate facilities, and understanding the IT tools, how they could be used to get all those additional benefits. That triangle is the core of what Radix is able to bring to you. Looking to some value examples that has been created with this way of working. So it's not something that we are stating from, okay, this is a nice idea, but there are real actual field experiences that are driving value. There are examples from large oil and gas companies operating in the Gulf of Mexico, that in the Gulf of Mexico that they were able, by reducing deferments and uptime of equipment, generating an additional value of around 150 million per year. That's quite a lot of money that you can take. And that's just a small area, the Gulf of Mexico. Let's imagine that you could expand that on a global level. There's some other key areas, not only deferments and generating more products, but also looking to safety. What it is that you can do with all that information. You can start doing the simulation of critical situations, of emergency situations, being much better prepared. Also doing your hazard studies. Instead of doing an offshore on the rigs, you can do them onshore based on simulators that are being connected to a digital twin. Environmental aspects can be easier and earlier addressed when we understand what our restrictions are, what are the operating conditions are, and what the exceptions are that we are facing. Also activities like plan change and maintenance planning, where we can do a lot of those things onshore instead of doing it offshore by having all that data available. So in a nutshell, I think there are quite a lot of value drivers to bring it. There are some excellent examples where the value is already being delivered, and also had the integration of the expertise that Radix is bringing the data together, the engineering skills together, and the software together to help you drive that value. Talking about the software aspects, I would like to hand it over to my colleague Pat from Aviva to explain a little bit more about the Aviva and IT aspects that come into this picture. Pat, over to you.
Thank you, John, for that nice introduction. My name is Pat Jambor. I'm a Global Account Director here at Aviva. At Aviva, we've been providing software to simulate reality for years. This is nothing new to us. These tools have resulted in billions and billions of dollars of benefit to our client partners, but it has only been recently, with the advent of the digital transformation taking place, we've been able to link these applications and these tools in such a way to construct a true digital twin of assets or processes. In short, Aviva offers a standards-driven set of tools that allow one to structure, aggregate, visualize, then monetize engineering data. Let me explain. As data is entered into Aviva's standards-based environment, it is modeled in such a way that it can be rapidly located, retrieved, and contextualized in such a way that it becomes the informational foundation of the modern digital twin. This foundation can then be leveraged by either our or third-party applications, value-add applications, provide additional benefit throughout the CapEx and OpEx phases of an asset lifecycle. In order to most logically harness this capability, our tools are organized across the different value chains of this asset lifecycle. The first being engineering, design, and procurement. Second being operations and maintenance. And third, performance and optimization. And with the use of modern techniques built into the AVEVA toolset, such as AI, machine learning, or predictive analytics, we can convert what once was ordinary data, either developed in a greenfield type project or from an existing legacy system, into valuable, actionable, profitable information for our clients. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Natalia Kalfke to describe some recent innovations in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat and John, for sharing such good insights. My name is Natalia Kalfke. I'm responsible for Radix Upstream operations, where we focus on developing engineering and digital solutions for the entire life cycle of the upstream assets, from early stages of development to late stages of operations. What I would like to briefly bring to this discussion is that although it seems sometimes that the data-driven modeling approach suddenly replaced the first principle equations and the engineer's work, we strongly believe that the only way to extract value from machine learning and data analytics in the oil and gas business is considering a hybrid AI approach, where the engineering knowledge is merged with the data science and software capabilities to create the models. And this is only possible by building diverse and integrated teams. So it's more like engineering expertise on asteroids of data than actually replacing it by a stronger force. And after building these capabilities and taking advantage of the open innovation ecosystems, it's possible to explore tons of opportunities of how to leverage digital twins. Particularly in the FPSO industry, where we see some latency on embracing digital, there are several initiatives for developing predictive modeling for uptime improvement, visual analytics combined with thermal and acoustic analytics to perform better asset integrity evaluations, to have the HAZOP virtualized using the historical data to teach the AI models and identify gaps among assets. So lots of interesting stuff. In our opinion, it's all about creating conditions to have better business and technical insights. So I'm now invite my colleague Rich to provide us his final comments.
Hi, I'm Rich Roach, and I'm the president of Radix Digital Engineering Company. That's right, we are a digital engineering company, and we're also a global alliance partner with AVEVA. Our foundation is engineering, but we have combined that or merged it with our process control and software expertise too. In fact, we've merged our ET, IT, and OT capabilities into one. That's what a digital engineering company is. Using this differentiating approach, we're able to look at operational problems with a different set of classes and see things that will generate financial impact by using digital innovations. In today's environment, it's imperative that companies invest in digital innovations, which will create the projected ROIs that they seek. The solution must drive the software technology and not the other way around. John and Pat have spent some time with you talking about digital transformation and specifically the digital twin, which can be used as the asset financial optimizer and ultimately the enterprise value chain optimizer. The core of the solution is environmental, health, safety optimization, as always. They've provided you with a laundry list of benefits which can be realized from the digital twin. AVEVA has a unique suite of digital tools to facilitate the transformation, and Radix is the super glue which connects the Aviva products into your operations, which generates the positive net present value. Natalia has provided you with 2 digital innovation examples that Radix has developed to further augment the value of the Aviva digital twin and creates more value for you, the customer. This is an example how Radix thinks out of the box. To be successful, digital strategy must be embedded in your overall organizational strategy. Digital transformation is not just about technology. It's about cultural change and affects how the organization thinks, acts, and works. It's the catalyst which drives productivity and profitability. The oil and gas industry has reached an inflection point, and many leaders in the industry now view digital as the next industrial revolution. Digital is not a magic wand, but it provides you with intelligence, which is an extremely valuable decision-making tool. According to Rita McGrath's book, intelligence allows you to see around corners. I encourage you to visit our virtual booth, meet, interact, collaborate with some of our experts. Learn about Radix's niche, our DNA, which is we turn data into money. Your data, your money. Stay strong, stay safe, and enjoy the conference.